A lot of alleged wrongdoing has been uncovered by FBI and intelligence officials, particularly lately. Until Richard Grenell was made the acting director of national intelligence by you, reporters, members of Congress, members of the public had asked to see a lot of this information, really for 3 years, but it was kept hidden. What do you make of that? Because it was kept hidden by people working for your administration.
Richard Grenell is a superstar. He had guts, he had courage to do what he did. We have another superstar going in, as you know, John Ratcliffe. He just got approved yesterday, and he'll be taking over as of Tuesday. Richard Grenell's done one of the best jobs I've ever seen. I mean, in a short period of time, he exposed them as being corrupt. Look, they were trying to do a takedown of the President of the United States illegally. It's all illegal. Now, I don't know what happens. We hope Bill Barr is going to be as good as we think, because Bill is he's a great gentleman, a great man. He's got to hopefully use that information and do what's right. And he'll do what's right. Bill Barr will do what's right. But what Richard Grenell has done for this country is incredible.
But why did it take Richard Grenell? You had other people who served this administration.
Because they didn't do their job. They didn't do their job. Dan Coates should have never let that happen. Dan Coates sat there for 2 years, didn't do his job. He then had a replacement who was a nice gentleman from the military, but he was only there for a short period of time. But I'm so disappointed that Dan Coates didn't do his job. Jeff Sessions was a disaster as Attorney General. Should have never been Attorney General. He's not qualified. He's not mentally qualified to be Attorney General. He was the biggest problem. I mean, look, Jeff Sessions put people in place that were a disaster. They took over. They've always had the Department of Justice, but they kept it under Jeff Sessions. And the whole thing, the Russian thing, is a total hoax. Think of it. They spent $45 million investigating him. It took 2.5 years. They found nothing. No collusion. A friend of mine called, a very smart, great businessman. He said, you must be the most honest person in the world. You went through years and years. They interviewed people that I haven't seen in many years. Millions of phone calls, not one to Russia. Look, some of the people, and I say this, I say it proudly, I came to Washington. I was only here 17 times in my whole life. I came the 18th time I was President of the United States. I had a great life. I did really well. A lot of good things happened. Now what's happened, but I didn't know people in Washington. And whether it's Sessions, which was a mistake, or Dan Coates was a big mistake, you know, but Sessions was the big one. Look, Coates, he sat there, he didn't do anything. When you look at what Richard Grenell has done in 8 weeks, these people didn't do anything for 2.5 years. They should have been exposing this. So I'm very disappointed in certain people, and some people have done a phenomenal job. But what am I doing? I'm fighting the deep state. I'm fighting the swamp. And I said I was doing it, and I'm exposing the swamp. I think if it keeps going the way I'm going, and Ratcliffe is fantastic, if it keeps going the way it's going, I have a chance to break the deep state. It's a vicious group of people. It's very bad for our country, and that's never happened before. You happen to be a victim of the deep state, I hate to tell you, whether you know it or not, but they've treated you horribly over the years, and so have they treated many other people. They never thought I was going to win, and then I won. And then they tried to get me out. That was the insurance policy. She's going to win, but just in case she doesn't win, we have an insurance policy. And now I beat them on the insurance policy, and now they're being exposed. Comey is a dirty cop. McCabe, bad guy. These are all bad guys. Lisa Page and Strzok, these are the two lovers, right? And they used public servers. They put it out public because they didn't want anybody to see, you know, like spouses, et cetera, to see that they were having an affair. And because they did that, they got caught. Tremendous things have happened. They forged documents. We caught them. They have people that have forged documents. I would like to see it move much faster, I'll be honest with you. To me, I don't need any more information. I know, and I purposely stayed out of it. Other than I appoint people, I purposely stayed out of it. But I'll tell you what they've done, if this were President Obama, if this were a Democrat instead of a Republican, people would have been in jail for 2 years. Many people would have been in jail for 2 years already with a 50-year term. Okay, 50 years, but we caught him. Now, hopefully Bill Barr is going to do something about it. And you know what? Other things are going to come out too. And a lot of other things are going to come out. But you don't even need other things. What they've done is so corrupt. They've tried to take down a duly elected president of the United States. Happens to be, in this case, me. But we can never allow it to happen again.
Coming up in our conversation, we talk